Hey guys, welcome to my podcast. How are you doing? I'm Natalia Schneimler, and I am helping all the boy moms stop fighting with their sons and everyone else in their life by teaching them the tools to manage their brain, their mind, so they can handle anything else that comes up in life. So, I'm so excited to talk to you today, guys, because I've just discovered one new approach, way of thinking that helps you eliminate even more fights, okay? So, before I tell you that little gem, I am so excited just to share with you that I'm so excited to host my brother. He's coming over here with his 3 boys to visit us for a week this summer. My boys are so excited to see their cousins. We're planning so many fun things like Stampede, which is like a outdoor show with horses and cowboys and stuff. We're going to take them to the mountains because my brother's coming out from the east and they don't have mountains there. So he's excited to show his boys real hikes and real mountains. So I'm so excited. So of course, this topic is inspired from my own life, and I feel like I've discovered this little gem, this little hidden thing that had really improved my relationships so much because I got a better understanding. So that's why I want to share it with you and sell you an idea that it's going to be amazing. Okay, it's super simple. What I'm going to teach you is that when someone tells you something along the lines of, you don't blank, for example, oh, you don't hug me anymore, or you don't bring me food anymore, or you don't call me anymore, or you don't do this anymore, or you don't say this anymore, or you don't do something, you need to translate it to a sentence that goes like this: I want you to do this. Okay? I want you to call me. I want you to cook for me. I want you to pick me up. I want you to take me there. I want you to hug me. I want you to take me out to lunch. So if you translate what they're saying to you into this sentence, it will create connection for you, and it will create understanding for you. It will create a really good relationship without a fight. And you will be so happy to have translated that in that terms because you will know and understand that person a lot better. Because if you're like me, for years and years and years, I did not translate that sentence into I want this. And instead, I got defensive. I get defensive and upset and maybe angry or frustrated or whatever emotion was. But when someone tells me you don't do this or you haven't done that, I want to defend myself because I feel like they're maybe attacking me or criticizing me, right? My thoughts are like, oh my gosh, how dare you? I do so much for you. I love you. I mean so well, right? So our natural reaction to when someone says to you, you don't do this anymore or you don't do that, is to defend ourselves because we know we mean well. We know we do all the things for that person, and we know we want to, do those things for them. So our natural reaction is to set them straight, like tell them, hey, you're wrong. Like the reason I wasn't doing it is because you told me you don't like it, or is because you didn't tell me you want me to. So our natural response is to what? Is to cause a conflict, to cause an argument, to have a little mini fight, and to start arguing with them and tell them that they're wrong. And they should have just told you, right? I wasn't doing it because you didn't tell me, right? But that creates a fight. When we feel defensive, when we feel upset, it creates a mini argument, a big fight or a small fight, whatever you want. So when the person tells you, you don't do this anymore, you might take it as a criticism. And so that will have you be defensive and cause a fight. So that's how I was reacting in so many times with my husband when he said something along those lines. And I did not see what actually was going on for him. And one day it just, I had an aha moment, an epiphany. I had a better understanding because I asked myself, like, what does he want? And that's what he wanted. Whatever he said I don't do or I didn't do that in that moment, that's what he wanted. Once I understood that, the fight completely was avoided, or the argument. I call them fights or arguments, but it's something like a point of friction, right? So you might use different words for it, but it doesn't feel good, right? So as soon as I understood, like, oh, he actually wants me to do this thing right now, then of course, then I felt like, oh my gosh, he loves me. He loves it when I do this. He wants me to do this. And I want to do that for him. I want to, whatever, without giving away the details of my marriage, right? I'm really trying to keep it private. I had a point of connection and I moved towards him. I said, oh, okay. So it became like a playful thing. I'm like, I know what you want, right? And so I knew how to connect. I knew how to show up in that situation. And the same thing with my boys, right? And I'm teaching them, when you say something, instead of complaining, right? Oh, you didn't cut the crust off my toast, right? Okay, instead of saying that, Mom, could you please cut them off? Or Mom, I love it when you do this, right? Yeah, it doesn't always work, but I do translate it in my head. Instead of getting upset at them complaining and whining, I translate it in my head as, oh, I like it when you do this. I want this. I want you to do this. That way I can understand where they're coming from better and not take it as an attack on me and what I've done. So again, just to summarize, if someone says to you, you don't, blah, 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 in your head, you translated it into, I want, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you don't have to get upset at them. You don't have to get mad at them. You can just see it for what it is. They wanted something that they didn't get. Maybe they're upset now, but that's what they actually want. So you don't have to address that maybe in that moment that they're upset. You can just say, oh, why didn't you just say so? I'm happy to do that for you, or I'll do it for you later. Or, this is something that you can do for yourself and I can help you, right? You just have a better understanding. And the same thing goes for yourself. When you start to complain about not getting something, again, translated it into, oh, I just want this. Okay, so then you can move on to actually getting that for yourself. The other day, I actually used it on myself when I put all the kids to bed, and in the evening, I went to make myself a tea and watch a show. And sometimes my husband and I watch separate shows because I'm putting kids to bed and he's already started a show. But that night I was like, oh, I wish we watch a show together. I was like whining to myself in my own head that I wish I was with my husband who's downstairs. And I caught myself complaining, and I thought, well, this is just actually what I want right now. Instead of saying what I don't have, I wish I was with him. Well, why didn't you just go downstairs and, be with him and watch a show with him? So that's exactly what I did. So I shortcutted the whole misery of, he's there and I'm down here, which sounds silly, right? Some couples don't have that. And this is not an example about how you spend your evenings, but I noticed myself saying, oh, I am not with him anymore. I wish we watched a show together, right? And you can translate it as you don't watch a show with me anymore into, I want to watch a show with you now. And that's exactly what I did. I went downstairs, I snuggled with him, I watched a show, and I got exactly what I wanted in the moment instead of getting mad at him, right? Which is so counterintuitive, right? We put the weight of what we want on them, and we want them to do it. So just when I plan our dates with my husband, and we decided that he even likes it, that I'm in charge of planning them. He's like, as long as you plan them, I'll be there. Thank you so much for planning them. I appreciate it. I don't like planning. So you plan them, I'll show up. So that's how we operate. I plan our dates and he shows up. And then on the other hand, sometimes I forget to kiss him. See, I'm giving away all the private details. Shoot. See, I can't do this privately. Okay, I'm going to try to do this. So sometimes, most of the time, like I kiss him goodbye when I leave the house, but sometimes getting out of the bed, I forget to kiss him, and he likes that kiss. And he says, how come you forgot, right? So I said, okay, you know what? I'm in charge of dates and you're in charge of kissing me good, like bye out of bed. Because, some things that he wants it more than I do, right? In that specific moment. And so he's better at remembering. So great, you be in charge of that and I'll be in charge of the other things. So this is just to get a better understanding of the psychology behind the whining so that you can better help yourself, comfort yourself, and give yourself what you need. All right, guys, if you need any help with kind of eliminating more fights in your life or frustrations or being resentful, all of that is really all the same thing. It's just different flavors of it. And if you want my help figuring out how to eliminate that flavor from your life, I'm definitely here for you. You can find me on my website always, www.coachingnatalia.com, and go to sign up for a free mini session. I'll be happy to help you. Otherwise, have an amazing week, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.